Alright, Stranger Things Season 5. It's out, it came out. On Thanksgiving? To be fair, it was the day before Thanksgiving, but still, what's with this release schedule? Stranger Things Season 5 Part 1, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Part 2, enjoy your Christmas. Stranger Things Finale, enjoy your New Year's. I mean, I'm sure it'll play well for people watching it in a group setting like, hey, we just finished Christmas dinner, let's watch Stranger Things. But for folks like me who make videos about such things, it just means shit gets to you late, as opposed to never, because I never did a video about Stranger Things Season 4. I don't know why. And by I don't know why, it just means I don't remember. Usually when that happens, it means life things got in the way of the YouTube thing. These videos are very timely, and at a point, it's like, oh, it's late. By late, I mean too late, so I guess we move on. So in this video, I might reference Season 4, talk about some things I liked about Season 4. All in all, I thought it was a great return to form of sorts for Stranger Things. I'm usually against entertainment bringing back dead characters, because it always feels like desperation. But with Matthew Modine, Papa, they tied him into something that actually expanded the plot, so okay. Lots of Mixed Private Joker getting more screen time, I'm sold. Also, this video is gonna have spoilers. Consider it a spoiler video, not gonna be a play-by-play. I say that because there will definitely be things in here where you're gonna be like, he didn't talk about X. But I don't feel like making a 3-hour video today, so I'm gonna give you my thoughts on things that stood out to me. Like the hair and makeup department, emphasis on the hair. Poor Will, right? Anyhow, we'll get there. So spoiler warning for Stranger Things Season 5, Part 1. You've been warned. In fact, I don't even know if this is a review per se, but hey, if you want to hear me word vomit my opinion about Stranger Things Season 5 Part 1, you've come to the right place. Again, usually, I say usually, but I guess Stranger Things just does things well. There are things, here's what I liked about Season 4. Let's not bury the lead here. I don't necessarily buy the fact that Vecna was this thing behind everything and he's been the one controlling everything the whole time. But rather than having the Upside Down being this evil entity in general, it does give a focus. It gives a nemesis, and I like that, which makes me buy that. So when I say I don't like these things that things do, what I mean is I don't like it when things do it badly. And I like how the campaign for Season 4 was apparently make Hopper great again, right? Like they Homer Simpsoned him, where you have a character who's the everyday guy and they eventually write him to be the village idiot. I feel like they did that with Hopper. It annoyed me. And then Season 4, they made Hopper awesome and they made him efficient. I mean, he had to rot in a Soviet clink to get there. The whole time I was watching that go down, I was like, it's like a penance the character has to pay because of what the writers did to him. Didn't think my enjoyment of Stranger Things was so closely tied to Hopper, but here we are. So, this isn't a video about Stranger Things Season 4, let's move on to Season 5. So the intro to Stranger Things Season 5 Part 1 goes back to Stranger Things Season 1. We see Will in the Upside Down, kinda solidifying that Vecna was there from the beginning, but he basically gives him the AVP Requiem. I mean, that's what I thought of anyway. It was like, alright, let's just, basically this tentacle vomits a bunch of Demogorgon larva down this kid's throat, which we saw at the end of, I believe it was Stranger Things Season 1. He coughs one up, it goes down the drain, becomes one of the Demodogs, you know, one of the little baby Demogorgons. But there seemed to be a lot more. He was like, I don't know, man. You know those big crates of eggs you can get from the grocery store? It's just like, you know, all of that, but Demogorgon larva. Gluttony from 7 didn't eat as much as poor Will Byers did in the Upside Down. Man, that's a lot. After Vecna created his 4 points in Hawkins, the ground tears open, and you're thinking, all right, now people will know that these demons are coming from this other realm, whatever you want to call them, and Eddie Munson's name will be cleared. Well, not really. Time has passed, the government has patched up the cracks in the ground with metal plates. Hawkins is under quarantine, and our crew of Goonies kind of, because they're a little older than Goonies now. Robin's a DJ, she pokes at the government, broadcasts what could be deemed conspiracy theories. The crew's mobilizing, sneaking out of the quarantine zone into the Upside Down looking for Vecna. Wait, so the heroes are going on the air, poking at the government, questioning the narrative, throwing out conspiracy theories, and ignoring quarantine during quarantine time. Okay, so yeah, I should probably just move on. Moving on. So yeah, Hopper's training Els. She's doing obstacle courses, popping pumpkins with her mind. He's doing his best Red Guardian impersonation with his beard. Probably because they filmed this around the same time he was filming Thunderbolts. They were like, well, it's David Harbour. It works. Mustache, beard, braid the thing. It's still in character. And the rest of the crew, okay. We just gotta talk about this. These kids are 30, dude. Or they're not 30. They're definitely in their 20s. And you see it. To be fair, Andrew Garfield was 30 when he played Spider-Man. Peter Parker, the high school student. But I think this is the difference. Andrew Garfield was Peter Parker. He was a 30-year-old playing a teenager, And it was the first time we saw that 30-year-old play a teenager. He has a young face, he has a young look, so I guess it worked. Whereas the Stranger Things cast, we're all like 12 in season 1. Our internal clocks kept trucking along, so the movie's like, hey, it's been 4 years. We're like, the fuck it has. I've seen these kids age into adults, but you're still telling me they're kids. And they're not though. Maybe there's a point of Eddie Munson. It's like we gotta really prime people into seeing folks who look older as high school students. That final season's definitely not around the corner, and we can't hide the 5 o'clock shadow forever. It really comes down to will, to be honest with you. I'm glad they at the very least, the costume department was like, look, we have to at least give him clothes that, you know, look like we're not trying to make him 10. Season 4, it felt like he was wearing his little brother's clothes because he didn't want to grow up or something. This season, you know, he's wearing clothes that look like he's at least fashionable. Except the hair. Look, here's the reality. If you were there, you remember. And if you weren't, ask your parents. They will either admit that this is true or they will lie to you and say it's not. We all had that haircut, man. We all had the bullet. But the call was made for the other kids to kind of grow out of it. Finn Wolfhard grew out of it, and they were like, that's right. Okay, he grew out of it. Will cannot. For reasons. Did he piss someone off? Anyhow, yeah. These kids are adults playing kids, and we see it more clearly here than other things that do pretty much the same thing. And the Duffer Brothers being like, I think more shows should take, you know, what's it called? What's the phrase? Fucking forever for seasons to come out. Well, you're wrong. No, you shouldn't. You lose momentum, and then you have people in their mid-20s playing teenagers, and it's just weird. So there's a new military baddie presence in town, played by Linda Hamilton. She's the antagonist. She's the military antagonist, anyway. She's the government military company man heading up this base in, hey, that's right, the Upside Down. Because the military was like, oh my gosh, these cracks in the ground that might very well lead to hell. Let's set up base in there and weaponize some shit. Stranger Things, Duffer Brothers, you nailed it. That's the realest thing that would ever happen. Also, the scene where they infiltrate that military base and Eleven's hanging onto the rail and there's the guy in the Metal Gear Solid tower and she like does that and did she break his neck? I mean, granted, she tried to incinerate dude who became Vecna. He ended up going into the Upside Down. She was a little kid who tried to kill somebody. That's just really dark. These kids must need therapy. I mean, they have seen some crazy shit at this point, so they already do. But these are the missions that they do, you know? They basically comb these grids in the Upside Down. They're looking for Vecna. They're just gonna kill this guy. They get the notion, I think Vecna is in the military base. It was intense as shit though, man, because Vecna's capturing these kids. The military's like, we need to round up all these kids. We're gonna protect them. Or have them in one spot so he can just, you know, make his job easy. So a lot of Demogorgons just tearing holes through the fabric of reality, coming through from the Upside Down, chasing kids. Like there's a whole Home Alone sequence going on. Booby traps and whatnot. Well, that was earlier. Still, the Home Alone sequence was really good. Those Demogorgons are hard to kill, man. I mean, geez. It's all based on D&D names. Like, what dice roll is going to take them out? You're totally going to have to save the game, roll the dice. When you don't crit, reload your save. Something I never did on Baldur's Gate 3. Shut up, you do too. My romance in Baldur's Gate 3, if you're interested. Lae'zel. Purest relationship ever. Vecna has captured Holly Wheeler. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, did they just create a new character that... Is she new? I don't remember Holly Wheeler. I just don't. I don't know why I don't. Maybe it's because this is a new actress playing the character. The character was in previous Stranger Things seasons, just played by twins. You know, like the Olsen twins played Michelle. They're playing one character, right. Anyhow, Vecna, he doesn't have his makeup, so he only looks, you know, he's Grindelwald. Like, I wouldn't trust the guy, but I guess he's very trustworthy looking to some. And he has her in this place, so the implication... There's this wall in the Upside Down that's surrounding Upside Down Hawkins. We've never seen it before, so I'm like, is it a new wall? Just because we haven't seen it doesn't mean it's new or not new, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. Point is, there's a wall, and I was thinking, like, on the other side of that wall would possibly be this place that Holly Wheeler is. But then Sadie Sink, Maxine is there. I was like, wait. The Upside Down is a physical place. Like, you tear through reality to go to this place. So it's a physical place that at a point you go into a place and you're possibly in Vecna's mind because Maxine, is in a coma in a hospital. She even brings all this up and she's like, how's it work? I have no idea. And neither do I. I mean, we're dealing with magic in the 80s, folks. Magic, alternate dimensions, demons, force powers, upside down. Kids who are the offspring of parents who did LSD, so most of my classmates. It's this wild meta thing where mental headspace meets physical reality, meets upside down, meets our world. Dunno. Which, to be fair, that was the situation when she was, quote, running up that hill. She was hypnotized, in which she was in a mental space. She was also in Vecna space, the upside down. Well, in a world where everything is math, that's the formula. Mental plus physical divided by mindfuck equals Stranger Things. Maths. And who knows, maybe they're gonna get past this wall and be like, it's just more upside down. Guess we were wrong about that. Like we were wrong about Vecna being in the military base. He's not there. Dude, Hopper was ready. He had the dynamite vest. I was like, this dude might die right now. He walks into this vault and comes back. He's like, he's not there. He's about to show up in his full cinematic hardcore form though. 11 goes into this vault and, oh, lo and behold, it's the girl from season 2. From that arc that the internet in unison teamed up and said, hey, we all got differences, but we join in solidarity against that arc in season 2. I was doom scrolling whatever and came across this post on Instagram. Of course, something in Instagram just means it's pulled from Twitter or TikTok or whatever. But it was someone saying, and I'll be paraphrasing here, this was the gist. I can't thank them enough for letting this arc in season 2 just die. Spoke too soon. Apparently not. Which, respect. If they were going somewhere with it, it might be one of those things like, hey, watch how it plays out. But yeah, Vecna shows up. Vecna showing up is pretty epic. Because Vecna looks way more intense and hardcore. Vecna shows up looking like he's the film adaptation of the TV show character. Vecna season 5 looks like when a TV show has the movie adaptation that's in continuity with the TV show, but the character, the creature design just looks more hardcore. I mean, even in the flashback sequence at the beginning of season 5 showing season 1, you know, Will in the Upside Down and Vecna's there. Vecna looked like Vecna from season 4. This is like Play Arts Kai Vecna coming on the scene. He's there as Demogorgons. It's fun entertainment. Folks are getting slaughtered. He's using the Force. He talks shit to Will like, you broke so easily, William. Will's all sad. Then he reaches his final Super Saiyan form. Super Saiyan hair? No, he still has his bowl cut. But his eyes turn into Vecna eyes and he starts controlling the Demogorgons, or not controlling them, just stops them with the Force. Then they raise up and their arms snap like how Vecna was killing people in season 4 and they all drop to the ground and they die. He becomes the anti-Vecna, the Jedi to Vecna's Sith. I mean, I think. Or they're gonna make him bad. They can't do, they can. But they can't do that. The Dustin situation, I guess I can call it that, it's an interesting one. He's dying on the hill of Eddie Munson. He knows the sacrifice Eddie made, while everyone else is spitting on his name. The jocks at school are picking on him, they're being douchebags, they're beating him up. Dustin's in pain. This is a more broody Dustin than we've seen before. It does feel like that fun, carefree kid that Dustin was before is gone now. And that's a loss you definitely feel, which I get it. Sometimes growing up is not pretty. Sometimes pain is the catalyst, but really the thing that caught my attention is the friendship, if I can even call it that, between him and Steve. It feels non-existent. It's very incendiary. It's very shit-talky. I'm like, what happened between these two in between seasons? Granted, there is some fair time in between seasons. I hope season 5 does flesh it out. Let us know what happened. I really want Eddie Munson's name to be cleared by the end of all of this. If it takes a mind flayer coming up from the cracks in the ground and do an exposition dump to the President of the United States in this show.
Eddie Munson did not kill anyone. Vecna did.
Well, that was really convenient, but I guess that kid's name is cleared now. Awesome. I want everyone to know he's great. Did one of the greatest needle drops in series history. Also, season 4 had great needle drops also. Going back to season 4, Master of Puppets running up that hill. These are not just moments. They're iconic. So in the end, yeah, I think Stranger Things season 5 part 1 is off to a good start. I mean, it feels bigger. Sometimes I'm like, I don't really want to watch an hour, 20-minute episode, but it does lock me in and I am entertained the entire time. That's the thing about Stranger Things. Some seasons are stronger than others. Nothing beats season 1 for me. That's a lot of the times it's the way it is. Now we're clearly in the end game. You got the military setting up a base in the Upside Down. You got more Demogorgons than you know what to do with, but you do still have this mystery of like what's going on with Holly Wheeler. Where is she? Likely beyond the wall, but still. How's it work? How is Max gonna get back? Dunno. She's out there making that fuck you Spider-Man money. So they gotta keep her in a coma and give her limited screen time. We are getting to the point where I'm like, man, there are so many characters in this show. Folks gotta die. But we're in the final season at this point, so if they die, it's not like he's gonna help it after the final season. I mean, 2 of the parents got put in the hospital, but not dead though. The cast is pretty extensive at this point. It feels like some characters get left in the background, or if the show takes them for granted. There are a lot of irons in the fire here. And in an unexpected hope, I hope whatever they do with this girl who's in the military base, you know, the one from that arc in season 2 that everyone hates. I hope they do something to validate that arc, to create a curiosity. For everyone who skips that episode when they do their rewatch, they're like, wait, well, I should probably watch it again. Because that, to me, is a more difficult thing. You can wipe something from canon, sure. Act like it never happened because the fans hated it. Or you and your writers can get together and you can create something that makes that worth it. It makes fans be like, hey, that we do need that. That's always the more difficult path. And if they stick the landing on that, that would be awesome. I'm not saying that will work for everything, Lucasfilm. You did this to yourself. But if they can pull it off here, awesome. All right, so Stranger Things Season 5 Part 1. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what's your favorite Stranger Things season? Or you can rank them. People's rankings of Stranger Things seasons from best to worst, at least what I've seen, are actually very different. So yeah, whatever they are, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more. I do hope Eddie gets his name cleared for Eddie.